care of everything. Okay. So I see what you got here.
Yeah, so this is kind of my system here. Um, but the thing of it, and I've been doing what I call my workaround, over the last 3, 4 years is I've got the business executive database, which is great business data. But the big but is, I can do SIC code, and I can do a search. I've got the A to Z list and I can go into SIC code, but I don't have business email.
Mm.
So my workaround is going into um, my cell phone database. Well, just an overview, you can see all the different databases. But I've got everything from consumers has the landlines. We separate landlines here with the cell phones here. Both databases have all the same selects, and then the auto database, pretty
Mm.
self-explanatory. Owner information, all kinds of stuff. People that have donated $15 or more are in this True Donors database, ailment database. Like it says, is A to Z list of ailments that you could don't do a whole lot with this one, but think doctors and
Well,
medical equipment companies. That
there's
sort of
a
thing.
lot of people that'll pay for certain ailments, like if you've got arthritis or you've had a hernia or hip replacement or stuff like that. A lot of attorneys will actually pay for medical because they can do malpractice.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea too. Definitely.
Oh
So yeah, there.
shoot, I'm giving away free advice. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. I won't write that one down.
Hey, it's yours, man. It's yours.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. And then new connects are people that are in new homes, and you can get it down to, let's see,
Uh,
right there. Well, which one is it? I don't use this a whole lot myself, but you can get it down to, yeah, right here. Added in the last week, 90 days, 1 year. So these are new homeowners. We've got that. It's pretty valuable there. And then property owner database. I've got both owner occupied and absentee owner information. So gets used by realtors and real estate investors quite a bit.
how many current clients do you have purchasing data separate current clients?
We do the monthly thing like you guys are doing. We average a couple hundred a month. On
Couple
average, we probably got
hundred.
1,500, 2,000 over the llast couple of years have used
Are
it.
those consistently some of the same users, or is that 1,500 new users every single month?
So you're saying, yeah, an average just kind of, you got the churn, but
Oh
users
yeah, of
every
course.
month. Yeah, so we charge 197 for access to I call my data and training system. And I think what's unique with what I've been doing, and you guys could tell me differently being in the industry, but what I've been doing with the training, especially, I'll show you that in a second, is kind of my what sets me apart is the training part and the done for you training sites products I call that I'll show you in a second. But back to the business thing here, this is my workaround. As you can see, it's not ideal, is I've got occupation, A to Z in the search, and then I can get the emails, through here. They're not business emails, so we've been doing okay. And we've been doing this quote unquote workaround for a couple of years. But since Brian's been releasing a couple of months ago that small batch systems, all about cold email systems, we want, this is pretty unique on the consumer end of things that will work great for his cold email system. But we also want the business emails, that we haven't had in the past. So that's kind of where we're wanting to add that, uh, to our mix. But you can see here kind of what I've done over the years on on the site. You can see, starting in 2020, everything from realtor deep dives over
And
three
Doug, real
hour
quick,
sessions.
are these
What's that?
guys are what's the most popular outreach for the people you encounter? Email, text, phone?
Phone. Yeah, we do a lot with, well, we do some email stuff, but the phone follow-ups, I
Phone's
think
the
have
most
been the
popular.
key. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with the cell phones.
Yep.
If we can get cell phones, and even on the business database, I
Yeah.
didn't mention we can click a box to just show mobile phone numbers.
Yep.
Yeah, which you guys probably do in the business executives database.
We got a couple tricks up our sleeves. If I keep revealing secrets though, Brian might have my neck for lunch.
No, look
Oh,
at this.
there you go.
Um,
There you go.
the business
Um,
emails, I just want to say this is that one thing we don't do currently because it honestly has caused more headaches for us than not. Because
Yeah.
deliverability
okay.
on email, even though your business email is right, if you use Cloudflare as your host, it's free to block those emails. So we've had better luck in terms of customers being happy with explaining that logic, and that's why we do the personal email because I mean it's easy to get the business emails. No, it's just Advocate Data. Just go to the
Oh,
reg.
gotcha. And I'm also sending you an update for our 1 p.m. meeting while I'm pulling this up.
Yeah, so we give you more than one email typically, and you may have a business email in there, but it's creating more headaches because you have a lower deliverability no matter what.
With the business emails, you've got a lower deliverability, just so I'm on the same page, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what we've been saying for years too, so we're on the same page. But yeah, people ask, and we do our best. It's like we can get them, and we can take what they're doing inside my system, and then we call it a supplemental list. We'll find I got access to a database that can do it, but it's just kind of out there price rise. I mean, it's like 10 cents
And you're
in
still
order
going to
to
run
get
into
a.
the same problem. Like it's not about the data not
Mm.
being good. It's about all the other things in between. Like we had a guy call and he was like, "Yeah, the numbers deliver," but everyone said stop. Like you know what
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
there's some things that are out of the data provider's control, and I found it easier just not to even lead people down that aisle of leaving the door open. Just it's a lot. I just found it a lot easier just to tell people like we don't do certain things because I feel like that's how you get yourself in trouble. Like,
I agree.
but here
Yeah,
we
that's
are.
why I teach my group email marketing, telemarketing,
Mm.
um, direct mail and custom audience Facebook stuff. And I say telemarketing is going to be the best way to go instead of email, or at least, shoot people an email, follow up with the phone call.
Telemarketing is the most affordable and it has the highest conversion rate. Period.
and
Yeah.
if you do have, I only just got emailing to work for me because I went out of my way going to all the different NGOs to get whitelisted with our domain. And I set up the private server. It rotates between different IPs on 3 different servers. But I mean, if I don't know if what your partner has is something like that, but I'm looking for vendors who have a software that they basically handle that stuff. Because, like I
Mm.
said, we're adding a tab at the very top that says marketplace. So we
Mm.
have people who provide appointments from Pakistanis that are absolutely flawless. It's
Yeah.
like if you're in Pakistan, you $50 is a lot for an appointment, but they're not going to be able to sell it for 250. So put it on the
Yeah.
marketplace.
Yeah.
Basically,
And we don't
broker.
have to keep up with it either. Like it basically removes fair amount of liability, I would think, and just headache. Brian, did you want me to navigate and do something specific?
No, I was just going to still go to businesses and scroll over to the left.
Yeah, of
Get
course.
the emails.
All right, so businesses, we're loading. Zoom is slowing it down. This thing's usually pretty much instantaneous.
Zoom is like the epitome of
I know.
my
Okay,
life.
here, let me move this out of the way. All right, and so I'm here and I'm on the left. What would you like me to take a look at?
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
So I can turn off. So here's
No, no,
one thing.
I'm sorry.
Like
Go to your right. Go to your right. I apologize.
my right. All right. I'm on the right.
So go in the table and scroll to the right. So you
Go
get to the
in,
emails on the right
go
side.
into the table and
There,
scroll
so
to
that's
the
scrolls.
right. Gotcha. Okay, here we go.
So
Register.
keep going all the way to the end, all the way, all the way.
That's it.
Nope, nope, you're just
That's
delayed.
it.
Not you,
That's
but
it.
the computer.
Oh,
So now flip the actually I messed up. Hit the email switch. Could filters it out. It
I see.
orders
yeah.
it NA at the top. So
Yeah. And that's what I was saying was, Doug, like when you're searching just to save credits and save your own mental capacity, just switch that off. I'm sure you're already doing it. Switch to remove. Are phone numbers important to you? Like if they don't have it, it's no good.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what we're doing, but yeah, we always have address, name, address, phone number with all the records, even with
Okay.
email stuff. So,
Nice. Okay. So let's get
yeah.
our search and let's see
Like, can you
if
guys show like email or not email, but like cell phone if it's a cell
yeah.
phone?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, that's
So check this out. First off, at the top, it's going to show you like a pretty accurate, not estimate, but right now there's 1.7 million leads available just based on availability of email and phone and national. And obviously we can play with these variables. But long story short, if you look at these here, those are pretty basic data points. But then we're going to get into the very end. Wireless number one. Now, why does it say number one? Is because a lot of times we're going to get multiple wireless numbers. What we have found, and I have found this myself by running my own call center, if you're using wireless number 2, 3, 4, or 5, you're using the old number. So we always make sure to pull the most recent wireless number as well as landline. But most people, I've yet to meet someone interested in the landline, and then email as well right here. And I'm pretty sure our phones are guaranteed. So if you ever get a number that doesn't work, please put it in a spreadsheet and we will replace this whole record for you. Just give you a new credit, depending on what kind of data it is.
yeah. And I just want to say how it only shows email one on the table, but when you actually download the sheet, it will have up to four emails. So as you see, there's half of them look like they're Gmails, the other half are about the business emails directly. But like I said, we give all of it just because everyone has their own strategy.
yeah, I see you're saying. Well, let me ask you this. I think from what you've said, I'm guessing the answer is no. But I see a lot of good stuff, overall with all the different kinds of data. My question is can you isolate just the business data and the business emails?
Yeah,
Like say if I
yeah,
just want to get like I just like, ideally want to get the white labeled access to just the business database with
yeah.
just that,
So
like I said,
that's a good question, and you just came up with a good idea.
because like you said, I've been successful, with what you've seen for the last 4 years, and I'm gonna show you some more stuff that I think you'd be like, wow,
It seems like
type
you
of
had your
thing.
hand
But
tied behind your
yeah,
back a little bit, though, with
I'm
some
already
of.
on it. I'm right now. I'm giving them the filter to do basically remove anything with at Gmail, at Yahoo, at Hotmail, at Mail. What's like another what are the other
Here, I got them. I got
at
them in live time for you. Here,
I see
live?
you're saying you
So yeah, that would be
filter out.
the same way we
Mac.
switch to remove the condos or remove the apartments. It's the same type of logic. It would just be to remove anything in the email column that has a. But the next thing that would be confusing is I have four email columns. One might have a business email. The other three columns don't have a business email. So it's just going to be optimization. Like to do it the fastest, I would do email one. If it doesn't have a business email, remove everything else. So that way we at least have it 50% optimized, and then I can throw in all the others as time goes in and keep building out the list.
So,
That is something we could do. I'll probably take
Doug, have you seen this page at all, or is this the first time you've seen this?
I think yeah, I played around with that. It's been a while, but yeah, when we
Okay.
first talked, I played around and looked at some, all this stuff to a certain extent. But But yeah, if there's any way to just how long would that capability be able to happen?
Well, it depends
Probably less than a week.
how.
Well, let
Go
me
ahead.
ask you this. Let me ask you this. This is the all right, but I'll be more blunt. So we didn't offer a master white label until someone paid us a lot of money and said, get it done ASAP, right? So since we last talked, there was the $2.99, like the regular packages, and we added a little baby white label element to it. But then the 2,500 was the regular white label. Someone ended up paying us 25,000 a month to make a master white label, so they can make their own white labels to sell. So there's a few things we're getting done right now. The marketplace, I would say, is what's on the list right now, but I would imagine by the end of next week, the ability to segment between those types of emails should work.
Well, what if, I mean, like, what's the average onboarding process looking like these days, Brian? Like I don't know if you guys are timing it in the last quarter or month, but are we at like 1 to 3 days or 1 day?
I mean, I imagine everything I needed them to do was going to be done this week. So that, I mean, in terms of getting it done, it's not a big task. It's just in queue, basically.
Yeah, it's basically just them getting to it. Yeah, no, of course. And Doug, what you're asking for is actually very straightforward. It's just a matter of building out some customizations, which is why things are priced the way they are, because there's always a uniqueness about your company, your industry, your business model. But getting that up, that's no problem. You've got what, 100+ clients per month. I mean, how many rows of data, the good contacts, for currently, like, how many are you going through in a month? Like, are you going through 80 million? Are you going through 1 million? Are you going through 100,000? Like, what's your average download per month for data? Just ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, it varies, but we're going a couple million. Depends on churn and promotion, because I say it depends, but just think of just promoting to a list and just now starting to expand. You know what I mean? It's like I do a webinar with Brian. I'm gonna have my next promotion. That's why I'm contacting you to see, time frame. I'm gonna do a webinar to 2 of his lists on the 15th. And so I go in and do a webinar, and then I bring on 2 to 400, new clients just from one webinar, because he's got such a big list.
I know. I want to get in that webinar with you. God, that's great.
Semi-guru. So that's all I've been doing. And I can, another call, I can share, if we partner and NDA or whatever, I can share kind of what my plans are.
Yeah.
But, so if things work out, and on the business side, then it can really, skyrocket, is my point.
Yeah. If you have a non-disclosure agreement you want to send over, here, I'll drop you my email.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to show you, these done for you sites and kind of what I'm doing, but I think I've never, everybody and I've probably talked to, I don't know how many countless data companies on the business side trying to get something over the last 6 months, but everybody that I've talked to are saying, wow, that's unique, so let me share my screen. I can show you what I'm doing.
Yeah, go ahead.
You may be like, oh, who cares? But you may be like, oh shit, I see your point. Let's do something.
Yeah. And ultimately, like what you're talking about in terms of collaboration, that'd be purely on that question would ultimately lie with Brian McManus. But I definitely want to see what you have and see.
I mean, these are what I'm selling here for up, up to 1,000, but discounted for our monthly members. They got access to these 3 sites, and I've got credit data profits, all about credit data coming soon. But I'm not a technical guy. I don't code, so this took me several
I
months
don't
to figure
either.
out. Yeah,
I don't either.
I mean,
I'm a
this took
drag
me.
and drop kind of fella. If
Yeah,
it ain't drag
exactly.
and
That's
drop,
me.
yeah. I mean, hey,
I mean,
look.
even Yeah, I mean, even the people that were techie that could code, I'd still
Yeah.
be like, "How'd you do that?" Or "How'd you do,
Well,
particular things?" I don't know why it's not coding, but
well, here's my thing: is like, why do all that when you can drag and drop?
exactly, exactly.
Like, yeah.
Um,
Oh, we actually built the system for exactly. So basically, what you're doing is you're trying to make multiple different platforms to sell different types of info, right?
I'm selling each site. So the whole idea, and I got this, I've been doing this for, gosh, 12, 13 years, the whole PLR, MRR, all that stuff. I
Yeah.
kind of got that from that. And then gray label, like I'm not white labeling my stuff. I'm calling it gray label, so everybody sees the same thing, but they're using the same system, so this is where a marketer, and this is where you've got a couple different profit centers here, is this works for both marketers and what I call end users. In
Mm.
this case, birthday data profit, say for restaurants, but you can apply it several ways. But you get a marketer, or the or is a biz op person, because I'm going to be doing training all around. Instead of the usual white label SaaS software, let's do
Yeah.
this as a business opportunity. Instead of the usual stuff you see. But here is where a marketer or biz op person would come in and create their own login. In this case, say for several restaurants. Okay, and then here is mastering the data, the 13 videos that's in the main training site. Goes over how to use all the different selects, and then this is kind of the secret sauce here, where I go over how to pull the birthday data, and then I go over in a video the email template and how to use it. And then same thing with telemarketing script and resource postcard template. I go over this is the same throughout all the sites. Basically just how to download the data, upload it into a Facebook custom audience. Okay, so this would be for the marketer, and then the marketer, the end user, the restaurant, say for example, doesn't see this part,
Right.
but the marketer gets this. So they get a done for you PowerPoint template, sales page template, and then my A to Z 3-part, everything from how to find a birthday marketing client, how to
Yeah.
use the done for you sales page, how to use the done for you PowerPoint, how to close the client once they say yes, how to pull the data, and then how to do 3, 4 different of the marketing services using the data. And so I got this for birthday marketing.
Yeah.
I've got this for same sort of thing, same, all
Wait,
this is all the
birthday
same.
marketing, is that when you send out like an email to somebody on their birthday and say, "Hey, just wanted to say happy birthday."
Yeah, exactly. So like we're pulling like a week or a month, or birthdays, say in say Chicago, and then a restaurant can send out, to a bunch of people in the area, invite them, for a free meal on their birthday, and they're going to bring, whatever the average is, 4 to 6 people with them,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Yeah.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, same videos here, but then here, this is just listed how to pull the geo-targeted data. We've got a great geo-targeting system. And then just listed, just sold, open house. This is all geo-targeted data, neighborhood marketing, and then renters is all about renter data. So basically how to pull the data and then how to use each of the different resources. And then again, done
Nice.
for you, realtor, PowerPoint, sales page, training, and then lastly, insurance.
That's the big one. Do you do anything with like final I have guys that do like final expense. What do you do for that? Just
Yeah,
curious.
yeah,
I
right
mean,
here.
yeah.
Yep, go over how to pull 55 and over with lower incomes, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
so
how
final
uh
expense.
how much are you able to push that out for? I heard you say 10 cents earlier for something.
Yeah, we sell 197 a month for
Oh
3K
yeah.
data each, that we call it bonus data. So we give everybody 3K a month. And
Yep.
then the privilege of buying extra data for 2 cents at 2K minimums. And I tell people, which was true before I did this 4 years ago, I was paying all day, every day, 5.5 cents at 5K minimums.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Oh,
hell
yeah.
of a deal.
The first time I set up a client's call center, and it was the week to launch, and they're like, well, did you get the data? And I'm like, y'all, this is done for you. Y'all do it for me. And they were like, oh yeah, well, you're gonna have to pay for it. I'm like, how much? And they're like, about 25 to 26 cents per lead, but they're really good. And I'm like, oh, that's actually why. That's when I reached out and found Brian McManus. Anyways, Brian, I have a tendency to do the rabbit hole. Let me stop and let you continue. Go ahead.
No problem. Good
Yeah,
stuff,
no, I
though.
like
Uh,
everything you're showing me, Doug. Is I want to show you this quickly.
I mean, nobody, you tell me. I mean, everybody I show this stuff, nobody's doing it. It's all about the training. You can have great data, but if you don't show people how to use it several different ways and have different profit centers, what's the point?
Yeah.
So so let me give you an example. So there's this new client that Brian got on board, right? They are a direct mail house. They, on average, did like 10 million a year, and they wanted to expand and they wanted to grow. And the way that they came to us and how they're signing up was being able to make nicheified white labels where, okay, I'm not just the guy that wants to sell to chiropractors to sell business insurance or whatnot. I'm the expert that's done chiropractic marketing for the last 20 years. So I'm going to go pay Advocate Data a fixed amount to then sell my own white labels. So basically, we've made it so it's stupid proof, where if you want to teach somebody how to do marketing in such and such a way, we have direct mail and email marketing built out, and it's all powered into ChatGPT. And with the marketplace that we're putting together, it actually will have all the prompts for those specific white labels. So basically, someone can sell their prompts to white labels. Somebody can sell their data to white labels. It's just a giant network to basically make your own dedicated company all in a box doing all those different things, with the exception of telemarketing and texting, because that's how we're going to get sued if we put it all into one system. But that's exactly the idea, where if you, let's say you have somebody that just wants to do solar to Spanish speaking people, well, you can create your custom lists. And in fact, so now they're stuck in a box. And we had the first master white label that paid us, where they don't want this UI. Their customers are not the brightest, and they have 3,000 of them, so they don't want to have to deal with 3,000 questions. So we put it together where there's different dashboards. So instead of having this be the advanced fidelity trading platform, we set it up so it can be basic. So, okay, I want to get business owners, and now I can go look at the pre-built lists. So I can force people to look at this and only this. And then I can have basically making it stupid proof, where, okay, you're not going to be able to make a mistake because we watch people use it for 3 years. So we know what people do wrong. So the next thing that's coming out with this is to be able to do like JavaScript and like HTML, like basic stuff. Because I mean, this right here, this took me 3 hours to write the code for. Didn't take long at all. Just regular JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. So we're going to take the same elements that we see here, and we're going to make it so not even a developer, I mean, it's just this website to be able to customize it. So I know how Brian kept saying drag and drop, drag and drop. Yes, but we're experimenting with, well, let me say this. I wrote this code in 3 hours because ChatGPT helped me. So we're going to, everything I'm doing myself, we're integrating in. So when someone wants to, let's say, make their own solar lead website, they have the easy ability to plug in the ChatGPT code that we give them as a template. I mean, because the colors are simple. I mean, this is an element, this is an element, and it's just tied to one color. It's just all the same color, different shades. It's just all code.
Does Doug do you do coding, or do you have people there that do Java or CMS or any of that? Doug?
We've got developers, but yeah, I mean, I like what I'm seeing here because just to clarify, Brian, you're saying it's kind of be like, instead of here's your white label, you can customize and create your own white label using ChatGPT. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. In terms
So
of
I'm on
we're
the same
going to
page.
build frameworks for you. So right now, ChatGPT is tied into this on the back end. We didn't make, it's not, a lot of the stuff's not on the front end yet, but we want it to go high level, did a great job, but they messed up in one aspect. Someone needed to know what they're doing. Like if you put too many words in, now you mess up the spacing and the formatting. But what I built was almost like a self-correcting algorithm where if the um, tables get all messed up, it resizes it. So that way someone can just write what they want, constantly resize it. And also it's optimized for SEO. I mean, another thing I'm going to throw out there, because I'll just give you the load. This isn't the system, right? This is the system. Because of this, you can obviously do this. But let's say you have a customer that comes in and says, Doug, come on, cold calling, that's illegal. I'm going to get sued. What I've found is instead of convincing people otherwise, just give them another solution. So obviously, you know what Apollo and SEO and indexing, all that is. So let's take a look at this list I got right here. I have 68,000 car transport companies. And I want to be white hat. So what's the whitest hat you can get? Paid ads or SEO. So let's say I have a marketing company in Florida that excels at car transport. So I have a website that might have 300 car transport companies in New York and in Florida. So when someone looks up car transport near me, I'm going to find a directory. And this is the number one right there. So why does any of this matter? Because when I go here and I submit a lead on this company, 2 people get the express consent, cartransport.com and this niche company. However, this company does not pay me. So what I'm going to do, because I have 100% consent and I am compliant with the new TCPA standards, I'm going to use AI to call the person who submitted a lead. Hey, Doug, I see you just submitted info to One All Aboard Auto Transport. We weren't able to reach them for you. Do you give us permission to let these 10 to the best car transport companies reach out to you? And those are the companies that pay you. It's like a mini Yelp. And now, and nothing in what we're talking about is not kosher. You're doing a B2B directory. You're a Yelp. You are a Yellow Pages. And so there's precedent that this is legal. And being you are this company, you have the 10 companies that pay you. And now you ask that individual, can these 10 companies talk with you? And I personally think it is a terrible idea because SEO, there's only one spot for SEO, right? A lot of people with TCPA was like, yeah, you just put multiple business names on a form, you just do paid ads, or you just do SEO. There's only one spot. like it's not like if you spend more money or more people want to spend more money, now it's supply demand. So I personally don't think this is a long-term strategy, but I've had enough people offer 10, 20,000 a month to be able to do this. So they can be, and that's the other thing I'm noticing. The guys that were doing under, let's say 250,000 a year, they're wiped out because the guys that are talking to me about paying this money, they like the first white label guy does 12 million a year. The second one does 10 million. So I'm realizing that the technology we built, being it costs so much money and being it works so well, is really going to squeeze everybody out. And that's kind of why we're making the marketplace. So that way, well, if you're good at what you do, you can list it here. You're not going to be a white label because it's, or a master white label because we're charging 25,000 for that. But you have the ability to participate basically. So in a nutshell, the 299 is what people buy today. The 2500 lets you sell this how you want, and then the 25,000 lets you resell your own dedicated brands to this. So if you wanted us to do an age solar lead brokerage.
So you're saying that, Brian, just to pave it out, because as you know, I'm trying to hone my craft as well with.
And before you say that, Brian,
this.
let me just show you in 1
So
second.
you're saying that with the $500 package, that essentially he's got the rights to sell packages, and then at the higher up level, he's got the rights to basically sell the business, like
exactly.
motto.
So basically, you can be this company selling leads for 2,500. Basically, for 2,500, you can pop it open overnight. And we just added another 300,000 opted in age leads.
Wow.
The third thing is for 25,000, you can rebundle these white labels and basically sell age solar leads about the tables and the structure. So, I mean, that's really what we white label was the ability without having to redo your table structure. You can pop it open in a few hours, and you can use our data, you can connect your data. And that's why we're able to do the data marketplace, because I may have somebody with totally different data structure. It might be like a Nexus Lexus. And someone might want to enrich their data set as another data vendor. Traditionally, that's not possible to do. You can't combine that data together and make a new table. But that's exactly what our IP is the ability to do that. So that's why all these other things line up and why we can pop open a business overnight.
Yeah. And
Let's do this because I'm kind of back to that same question in February. I wanted to show you kind of, the whole thing I'm doing is can I just get the business stuff, but I just that's too much business data for me a month. Can we do something lower? And then if it works out, I can, and I'll do a whole nother meeting and show you kind of what my plans are to expand beyond Brian's list. So things take off, we both take off together, and like I said, and if I like the business stuff, I may switch everything over, on the consumer end too, and then who knows from there. But can we walk before we run? You know what I mean? Type of
Yeah,
thing,
that's
because
why
I don't, yeah, if there's any way of doing that, we can
let me show
partner.
you the last thing. We talked about the baby white label. So this is the thing we've added since we last talked. So you were worried about people seeing the emails from like our business. We set it up where within one of these accounts, you can add other emails you sell leads to, and then you can add your email. So that way it doesn't come from us. It can come from you. They just can't log in. You would make the list and then you can assign the list to the right person to give it to.
okay. And
Yeah,
so
unfortunately, that doesn't work in our business model to have. I'd have to have our VAs doing that not all day, but yeah, I need to
periodically.
have our members be able to log in and pull their own business data,
Yeah.
with the business email is kind of what our model is.
Doug, so you said like you've made it very obvious. You've made it very, very obvious and very clear, Doug, that moving forward, and look, here's what makes a good data company. Well, one, yes, you have to have good data, but data integrity as far as like where you're getting it, how you're getting it, but like there's something different that that I know makes us better than like Apollo and all those other those crap agencies, and that is we'll get on the phone in a Zoom, and not only will we listen, but say there's an obstacle or a problem that's like immovable. Oh, sorry, the software doesn't do that. I've yet to ever hear Brian say like, yeah, we can't help them. Like we're not going to help them. They just need to pay their bill. Like that's the thing is like there's some pretty large advantages, and like just that customization piece alone is pretty big. But so to circle back, you said, can we crawl before we walk? I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna be spending, you guys are gonna make money, we're all gonna make money together, everybody eats, and that's the perfect scenario for us. We want to work there, we're willing to be flexible and even make sacrifices to get there with you. You do it all the time, but like crawl before you walk, like what does that look like for you? Just so we're using like real um terms and financials or packages. um
I see exactly what you're going. I appreciate you listening to me. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
like right now, 25. I mean, not to sound like a cheap ass, but it's like
no,
just for
no, yeah,
just for the business data right
yeah,
now, 2,500 is too much. Because we don't need
yeah,
300 right now. We don't need 300
yeah.
credits. For our members, we probably will get there
how
because
how many are you
I'm going to
going
do
through?
we're going to do a promotion to Brian's list, and then
Yes.
and this is the key thing to think about. And
Mm.
this is Brian Anderson telling me this. If we've got good business data along
Yeah.
with personal personal and business email,
Mm-hmm.
along with to be able tying it into Brian's SBS small batch
Yep.
systems product, he's
Yep.
telling me if I can do that,
Yeah.
and I've got testers that have just tested the data on
Yeah.
the consumer end, which went well. If we can do that with the business data, he can take this to his JV partners,
Wow.
and we'll do webinars
Yep.
to not only to his list every whatever 3 6 months, but we'll do it to all. He's got at least a dozen of those names that
Right.
couple names I threw out. Because
Oh,
he just launched SBS 2 months ago,
yeah.
so he wants to follow up now,
I bet he
and
does.
say in a month or two to say, hey, we've got SBS. Here's this great data system, including business and personal emails. That
Yeah.
we can. So not only do you have a email system, now you've got a data system. So that's he wants to
Right.
follow. He's done 2 or 3. I think he did Jason Bell. I was on
Yep.
it. He did Jason Bell. Oh, you
Yeah.
may have seen it. Yeah,
Yep.
he did that to Jason's list, and then Jason did it to Bryant's. You do back and forth. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's and that's
Mm-hmm.
just webinars, and I
No, I
haven't gotten
know.
into the paid ad, and
Can I
then
ask a
just
question quickly?
we haven't sold to
At
the end
that
users like
Can
the
I ask,
re like
that
the
okay, can
at
I ask a
that
question real quick?
rate, at that.
Brian, wait
Go
a
ahead.
second.
Go
So
ahead, Brian.
let me ask you this. So how would you get the data? Would they log into your own white label? Would they log in? Like, because I'm running into this situation with another person where they want to be able to get the data from us to them, but the system isn't set up yet like that because the speed of filtering the data has to do with like the actual IP. So would you want them to log into a white label under your brand? So that way the data is fast and they can get it, or would you make it like an iframe in there? What is your how would it be implemented on your side?